Hi guys, my name is Muskan Agarwal. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video I would be talking about my application for Imperial, specifically the essays. But just a disclaimer for those of you who do not know this, but I got an admit from Imperial along with a very good scholarship, but I decided not to go to Imperial because a lot of things changed. I wanted to work full time on my startup, and then I thought that probably doing both things together won't be the right thing to do, and that is why I am working on my startup full time, Cherry Media, which is a 7-figure agency. We help clients with personal branding and Instagram. But okay, let's get started with the questions. And a lot of students have reached out to me asking that what was the application process like. I've already made a video on that. And then what were the essays like? So I have my essays here in front of me, like each and every essay. Of course, I cannot tell you each and everything that I wrote, but of course I can just break it down and what was the thought process behind it. Cool, let's get started with the very first essay. And for those of you who do not know, at least till now, I think the essays at Imperial College London is similar, same every year. The first question is, please share your motivation behind undertaking this program. So very specifically, like you have to tell your vision very clearly, like why do you even want to do. Started by from my childhood, that how I come from a very business family, and since childhood that entrepreneurial spirit have been ingrained in me. So that is something that motivated me a lot. And then I came to implementation. So first year of engineering, I did this startup called After Class, which was basically a hobby learning platform for kids of age 4 to 12. So I talked about that and how did that fail miserably, right? So now here what I was trying to do is actually tell them that I am not just somebody who just wants to be an entrepreneur. I actually tried being an entrepreneur. I did try to do my own business. So that just shows that you believe in implementation as well. Then I told them that how even after that setback, like instead of just giving up on my dreams or just giving up on it, I learned from all the setbacks that were there. Now you told that why you want to be an entrepreneur, what you have actually done. Now I told them that basically this program will help me learn a lot of skills. So I actually mentioned, so my course that I was applying for was MIM, that is Masters in Management, and I specifically quoted a lot of subjects there. For example, there was operations management, there was marketing, there was business economics. So I told them that these are probably my weak areas, and by taking this program I can actually learn all these skills. Now a very important part is also why London, right? Because MIM program is available like at so many places. So I told them that how London specifically is beneficial for me. Now you have to be like really personal, not take up my points, or like your reasoning would be different, and trust me, there is no right or wrong answer. Just write why you feel London or UK is the right decision for you. Coming to the next question, that is, what is your proudest non-academic achievement? Here they are trying to see that how not just a nerd or not somebody who can just get good marks. Instead, you are a person who has who have done extracurricular activities as well, because that play a very important role. If you would be, because if let's say you get really good marks but you're not at all a team player, then you can never build your own team if you want to be an entrepreneur, or if you want to work at big consulting companies, like then you can probably never be a right fit for them. So in this answer I told them about my YouTube journey, like how I started my YouTube journey almost like 3-4 years back, how I got a lot of people on my channel and talk about their interview experiences that helped a lot of my college students know about those opportunities, just like I'm making a video right now. Always talk more in numbers. For example, I'll just tell it to you that I wrote that share my personal stories, etc. My YouTube channel has garnered over 2500 subscribers, 100 plus videos, etc. So that just shows my consistency, is that if somebody has made 100 plus videos and 2500 subscribers, that means they're really doing it. That means they're really doing it consistently. Okay. And then there was one incident that when a girl messaged me that I made a video about that D Shaw experience, and she messaged me that she got to know about that from a YouTube channel and even got the scholarship because of that. So I mentioned that how is it actually practically helping the students as well, and then how I get a lot of messages for mentorship, and I help the other students who are probably doing the same things that I did. So that is something that you need to tell, that and it need not be YouTube. For example, let's say you write on LinkedIn, you can write about that. You write on Medium, you can write about that. You were a part of probably a NGO in your chapter in your college, and how you helped a bunch of students study a specific topic. That is an achievement as well, right? So don't think that only YouTube or being having high numbers on social media is an achievement. Anything, but it should not be like very old. It should be like 2-3 years recent. Then other thing, I wrote about my LinkedIn. So for those of you who do not know, so like I write a lot on LinkedIn. At that time it had 20,000 plus followers and 20,000 plus community. Currently it has 23k plus. So I wrote about that, and how I write about my entrepreneurship experiences, my startup experiences, my experiences from marketing. It also collaborates with the program that I want to be in, like masters in management. So it's a very very entrepreneurial program as well. So all of it just correlated with why I want to do something in this specific domain. And yeah, that is what I wrote basically on my YouTube, on the number of videos that I made, then on my LinkedIn, and how I mentor other students for getting into similar programs. I also wrote about a couple of like specifics of the video, that how I got professionals from Google, Netflix, Microsoft. I got a Microsoft recruiter on my YouTube channel, right? So this is all of this is like super helpful for the community. So that is something that you can write. Coming to the next question, that is, what would you contribute to the cohort and to the Imperial community? So all these colleges, whenever you are applying to specifically abroad colleges, like I have seen this question in US colleges as well as UK, that they want a person who is like holistic and do not just want to take, like you have to be value giving as well. They want to see why you are the right fit, right? Because Imperial specifically is such a competitive college. It is one of the top colleges in London. So they are getting like thousands of applications. So why should they choose you? Now I covered about my YouTube channel, about my entrepreneurship in the earlier questions. Now I wrote about my college experience, like how I was a part of this specific club and chapter in my college, and how I used to mentor my juniors there, and I want to do similar things at Imperial as well. Now you need to do your research as well. So I actually wrote that I'll pursue my passion for mentoring other students at the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Club at Imperial College. So while I was researching, I saw a lot of clubs and chapters that were there, because I'm always very interested in these extracurricular activities. So I told them that this particular club, I want to be a part of that, and I want to learn a lot of things, and I want to share my experiences there. So this just shows that, oh, you know the specific name, right? So that means you have really done your research. I of course elaborated on that. I also wrote some specific numbers, that how I have mentored 30 plus juniors in my college journey. Part is that I want to tell that how even I am the right fit. We worked for a lot of brands like HDFC, Grow, and worked as a content strategist for them. So I told I have worked on these brands. I have a lot of external exposure, and in my company, that is Cherry Media, I have worked with a lot of founders that are Y Combinator founders, right? So I think that was a very, very good thing that I had. Then I talked about how at my company, Cherry Media, which is a personal branding agency and social media management for Instagram, we currently manage 40 plus profiles of founders, and a lot of these founders are Y Combinator founders. Now, this Y Combinator is a global name, and I think this particular thing in my profile really highlighted, because it is not very common for a lot of people to have such experiences. And I told them that how I have talked to these people, and I have gathered a lot of invaluable business insights and execution strategies, and I would love to share all my learnings with the students in the community, with my college mates. I just wrote that given the program's emphasis on business acumen, my past experiences can significantly contribute to class projects and group discussions. So basically it was like my college experience, how many students that I mentored, then the brands that I have worked in, and then a very specific point that I have had a lot of conversations with Y Combinator founders, so that would be very invaluable. Cool. Coming to the next question, that how would you use your degree to make a positive impact? Now here they really want to know that you are not just doing something for the sake of making a lot of money. Money is of course a very important factor, but how are you going to contribute to the society, or how are you going to put a positive impact once you are done with it? So I basically talked about my entrepreneurial journey and how I really want to, give employment to others. And also, I talked a little bit about sustainability here because that is very important. And I really wish that when I am at a stage where I can actually contribute to it, I really want to do that. And also in the past, Cherry Media has worked with a lot of companies that, are focused on sustainability or are working towards that on a pro bono basis as well. So I wrote about that I want to continue doing that on a larger scale. And when I have actually grown, I want to continue my entrepreneurial journey, and I want to contribute to sustainability. SMEs think sustainability is only relevant to large companies, but whereas I really want to change that fact and actually want to consult to smaller companies as well, that how they can contribute to sustainability. And how will I know that? I want to take like specific so in Imperial there are like a lot of really nice professors at Imperial's leading sustainability research and education will give me a really strong foundation. So I actually did a lot of deep dive into the subject. So if you will go on Imperial's website, and you can actually see that what does your program actually offers, what are the exact modules in your program. So there was one module that was sustainability, and then I also wrote about that, and then I wrote about that how I intend to participate in the venture catalyst challenge. Again, all of these, if you will see, are very deep dived answers. These are not something that you can write for Imperial as well as LBS or another thing. This is very Imperial specific, and I think this was the highlight. Anyways, I am writing so much about entrepreneurship, right? So I intend to participate in the venture catalyst challenge, where I can share my ideas in the energy and environment domain and build lifelong connections. So basically this venture catalyst is actually a program at Imperial, entrepreneurial or like a startup kind of competition, wherein there is a specific segment into sustainability. So I showed my strong interest. So also it is not like if you've written something here, like they are saying that like they just want to know your interests and who are you as a person actually. Then I wrote about that how I want to work with non-profit organizations. So at Imperial, they give you a lot of these consulting projects to work on uh, at a pro bono basis. So they have these tie-ups with a lot of non-profit organizations, and how you can actually take their projects and work on them, right? To basically get a lot of hands-on experiences, and I showed my interest towards that. The next question is actually the additional information. This is actually an optional question, but I had a lot of things to write actually, and I did not know which question to fit in everything. So I just wrote my experience with yellow class that I basically interned at, and how that was my first internship experience. And then I just wrote about that I've been working on my own startup. I actually wrote about Cherry Media for the last a couple of years now, and how I wrote about that in the first 7 or 8 months I did not have any clients, but I kept working on my social media, my outreach opportunities, and now how we work not only with Indian clients but also with international clients. So that just shows a lot of persistence and also about your entrepreneurial skills, that you're actually able to sell, you're actually making money before going on to this program. And then like a couple of different things that I think that was not fitting into any of the answers is, how will this program help you reach your career goal? So in this I actually talked about that how, again, I am correlating everything. If you will see, all my answers are, very tightly knit with each other. It is not like in first answer I'm talking about something else, in last answer I'm talking about something else. So that is something that they want to see, that you are actually, consistent in your answers. So again, here also I wrote about that how I want to study modules such as operation management, marketing, finance, business economics, that will help me launch my own startup, or that will help me scale my own startup. And then I wrote about how I really want to strengthen my negotiation and financial modeling skill. Then I wrote about this one professor that have actually, so many people I have heard all good things about him, that is Professor Eaton. I actually wrote about him and how the vast alumni network will at Imperial will actually help me achieve my professional goals. So you see how specific I am. I told about the specific courses that will really help me, the specific professor that I'm really inclined to studying from, and then how the alumni network, that Imperial has such a great alumni network, that will help me. Now you have to be very specific about this program, okay? That now this program is very beginner friendly. Because this is beginner friendly, it will help me learn everything from scratch, which will actually help me a lot, because I am an engineer, right? So I have studied engineering and now I'm pivoting into a totally different role. That beginner friendly approach will actually help me a lot. So if you are an engineer and applying for it, probably this is one very important point that you want to look after. And then I also wrote about the consulting club. So I was like, when I got to know about this club, like I was so interested. Like literally I read about everything that was available on this internet, literally get hands-on experiences on all these consulting projects before even you get hired at any company, or if you want to start your own startup. It will help me gain a high level overview of how consulting firms, and then how I can solve issues at my startup and network and learn from external speakers. Also, if you want to learn about all of this, right, like you must be wondering that how do I even know about all this, just go to Imperial's website and just do your research. Just sit for 2 or 3 hours, see everything that Imperial has to offer. The next question, that is, do you see any barriers that you may need to overcome to reach this goal? Right. So basically, I talked here about my engineering background, that even though I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to do XYZ, but coming from an engineering degree, I do not really have that professional degree in my hand that will really help me. And then actually, I had taken like a lot of courses in the past. Was management understanding, that was there on Coursera, then management consulting by PwC. I've also attached like the links of that on my LinkedIn. And like you can easily do these, like if you also want to do these, you can easily do this by, I think Forge is there, and then like if you just Google it up, free business courses or free courses on XYZ, you can easily get that. So I told them that actually I undertook these courses. So this actually shows that you are actually actively working on it without this program as well. Very important, if you will see in the past, all the questions, nowhere have I mentioned about Amazon, which is a very strong point in my profile. So I actually told them that I am an engineer at Amazon and my role focuses on technical aspects of product development, and it has given me a very strong foundation in programming and problem solving, but I want to gain exposure to business management. And then I told them about my current duties, that it is more focused on internal stakeholders and deliverables, which are more technical. And then for a successful entrepreneurial career, I need to embrace a broader perspective and need to have like the business acumen as well, and have a lot of experience on market dynamics, except of just the internal technical part that I'm doing currently. I wrote about that, like it is talking about barriers now. So you need to think that what are the changes that will come when you will be a part of this role. And for me, a very important part is travel. I am a very, very, like a person not to probably, be at different locations each week. But let's say if I am in this particular domain, right, like whether it is consulting, entrepreneurial, it does require frequent travel. And I wrote, which is a significant change from the stability of the role that I am currently. And then that is something that I have to actively work towards, and how I can juggle between multiple client engagements simultaneously. Then I wrote about that how relocating to London. So I am from India, Kanpur, and the maximum, like when I moved to Amazon, like moved to work for Amazon Hyderabad, that was the first time actually when I like lived alone without anything. Like even while I was in college, right, there's a lot of protection that is there. There's a lot of comfort zones. You get food, you get a place to sleep, etc., etc. Even though that was there, but still I was on my own. So relocating to London will present some personal challenges, and adapting to a new cultural environment, because being in India, that is like UK, right? It's like total cultural shock that a person will get. So basically that is something that I told them, that some like that difficulty I might face in the initial times, but I'm very adaptive. I can adapt to new cultures. In fact, I love meeting to new people, new cultures, learning their values. That is something that I will adopt quickly. Coming to the next question now, I think these are different sections probably, so I'm just covering everything here. You can just see that in which section this question is for you. What key criteria does your target company use in their recruitment process, right? So now, even if you want to be in the entrepreneurial role, you can just write about like what are the skills that you would be needed. And if you want to go for a company, you can just write about the companies that would be needed. So I first of all wrote crystal clear communication. Then I wrote about that, how communication is important to explain complex ideas to diverse set of audiences. And then I told about one of my experience at Amazon, wherein let's say there was a task given, and because there was not a proper breakdown of task, because of improper communication, the task was taking a lot of time. So how I documented all the tasks, and then it actually saved XYZ. Like I actually put a number there. It actually saved 30 plus hours monthly. So basically star approach, like what was the situation, what did you do, what was the action, and the result you need to approach for STAR. Okay. And then I wrote about that my work involves communication, like how am I good at it. So I told them that how my work at Amazon involved communication with non-technical managers, and how I used to explain the technical aspects of things to non-technical managers into more simpler and straightforward terms. This question is not very big. It is actually just 750 characters, and the block will not allow you to write more than that. So just make sure that you're very crisp, very very straightforward, and telling everything in like simpler words. Then next is, what key criteria does your company use in their recruitment process? Okay, this is criteria number 2. Then I wrote sharper problem solving skills. And then here I wrote about how I was interning at a startup, and I identified that there were multiple issues that were repetitive, right? And like basically every new joiner, whenever they join at this company, so when I joined, I was asking a specific question, and then like 4 months later another person joined, they were asking the same questions again and again. So I identified this problem, and then I basically planned recorded sessions on each topics that can be reused by new hires in the future, again saving up a lot of time, energy, manual work, etc., etc. And then I wrote about how did that save hours of senior people, and recorded sessions were used by new hires to, and even existing ones, to just polish their skills. So that was one thing that I wrote. Then criteria 3, I wrote about deep functional expertise. What that meant is that I really, like deep generalist, like, so what that means is that generalists are highly valued, but when you are a like when you really go deep in a topic, for example, at our company Cherry Media, we are specialists in personal branding on LinkedIn as well as social media management on Instagram. While there are a lot of things that we can offer, but these are two things that we are really really specialized at, and solved and helped like 40 plus clients across the globe over these issues. So I just wrote that, like, if I want to be an entrepreneur, I need to seek deep expertise in specific areas, and I want to be somebody who can leverage data driven insights to develop and deliver asset based solutions and etc, right? And then I wrote about my college NGO experience. So while I was in college, I was a part of multiple colleges, and then how I used to create educational campaigns to raise awareness about XYZ, and we actually planted a lot of trees. So here I was backing up upon my sustainability and about the care of for environment there. And then I wrote about the actionable things that we did, and I also completed a couple of courses on the same from BCG, so I wrote about that. And then basically you need to write about a topic that you really want to excel at. What have you done to do that till now, and what is the result of that? Okay, coming to the next question, what skills will you need to develop to prepare for this career? Again, you might think that, oh, all these questions are so repetitive, even the answers, the points are repetitive, but that is the point. They want to see that are you being consistent with your answers. Let's say in the start you're saying that I want to do this because I want to gain exposure, and then you are saying that I want to do this because of some other reason, right? So basically they see that, oh, you're not consistent with your answer, so probably you have not been completely honest while writing it. So it's okay if you repeat certain points. So I wrote that, again, I wrote that my engineering background offers strong problem solving skills, but it's essential to master business fundamentals like XYZ. And then I also again wrote about that how I have taken courses like business analysis and process management undertaken on Coursera to just brush up on my skills. And then I wrote about that how I have honed my technical skills while working at Amazon, but I really want to hone my management and business acumen as well. And being at Imperial, I will get hands-on experiences, and actually being around that community will help a lot. And then actually there are two communities at Imperial, really really good. You guys should also check it out, the Imperial College Consulting Society and London Strategy Consulting. So basically again they will provide you hands-on experiences on these consulting projects. So that is something that will help me develop client interaction and communication skills. Next question is, please describe your long term and short term goals. So as I told them that I really like, I'll just give you like a breakdown of my answer, or what you can frame your answer as, that now they're asking you long term career goals, right? So you really need to think long term, like 5 years or 10 years. So I just wrote that like how I am working at for my own company right now, and then how I really want to scale it and make it XYZ, and how I want, as I told you before, right, how I actually want to raise awareness about that sustainability is not just for SMEs. It is sustainability is not just for big companies, it can also be done by SMEs, right? And that is something like I want to scale my company, and then I want to actually serve or basically consult all these companies, and basically these businesses. Then I actually wrote about that this program will not only equip me with business acumen, but also provide access to world class faculties, like, and then I wrote about certain faculty names that I really really wanted to study from, and learning from their expertise can help me develop invaluable innovative solutions and me scale my business. So basically I told them about that what do I want to do immediately when I come out of college. I want to actually work on my startup, give employment to others, actually want to scale it, and then once I am big, right, like let's say 5 years 10 years down the line, I want to act like do it at scale and also contribute for a greater cause. I think there is one more question as what are your short term goals? So you can actually write about that also, more or less very, very similar to long term goals. As I told you, right, the answers might be repetitive, but it is okay. So if you will see in all the answers I told about my YouTube, my LinkedIn, my experience at Amazon, um, the fact that I have talked to Y Combinator founder, the fact that I have a startup of my own which is profitable, and how I want to do this course to that will help me scale my startup. So all these things I think made my application really, really strong. And you need to actually sit down one day and think all your pros that you have that will give you a leverage over others, and you need to integrate it somehow into the answers. And trust me, it's not rocket science. I did not take help from any external consultants or whatever, because to be honest, I just wanted to write whatever I have done. And I don't think if you are writing your story you will need somebody external. If you want me to review your answers, I would love to do that. Please reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can just search Muskan Agarwal, and just let me know. Just give me like a month's time or something, and I would love to review your answers and share whatever experience that I have. And yeah, if you really like this video and found this helpful, please like this video, share it with others who want to apply at Imperial College. Subscribe to my channel. That really, really helps me. Like till date, 90% of the people that watch my videos are have not subscribed to me. So please subscribe to my channel, and that would mean the world to me. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.